Greetings and welcome to another episode of Into the Pit, and today I'd like to talk about Quiet Riot. Now, Quiet Riot with Mental Health were one of the highest charting metal pop bands in the 80s, and I think they beat Michael Jackson or something with the Mental Health album. And their follow-up often gets maligned by people, and they always say, like, it's such a weak album, and they couldn't follow up, they were one-hit wonders, that kind of thing, or they were too heavily reliant on the Slade cover versions, Mama We're All Crazy Now, and Come On Feel the Noise. So, well, I beg to differ. I really actually enjoy Condition Critical. For me, the album is a tad heavier than the first one. I think it's got great tracks on it. I love Sign of the Times. Yes, the Slade covers are getting a bit tired. Party All Night is cool. I love Condition Critical, Scream and Shout, Red Alert, Bad Boy, We Were Born to Rock. For me personally, the second half is almost stronger than the first half of the record. Not too crazy about Stomp Your Hands, Clap Your Feet, or Winners Take All, the ballad. Not really. But overall, this is not such as bad an album as it gets made out to be. And what followed after this was a disappointment in my eyes, which was Quiet Riot 3, which had such a strong... it was leaning so heavily into keyboards, and it was just totally softened by the synths, and the guitar you could barely make out. Really weak album. Some good songs on it, but yeah, that's when they started taking a dive, in my opinion. But this, I think, is still a very solid album. I mean, you've got to love Quiet Riot for those first two album covers and the sort of material on there. I call it nostalgia. I grew up with this stuff, and I still enjoy this album. I think, and yes, okay, you can make up the Spencer Prophet sound, and it's amazing how similar his sound is on albums like King Cobra. I think he did Kick Axe as well, I'm not so sure. But every band he touched, they had that same drum sound and the same sort of processed guitars. I don't know what effects he put on it. Probably a lot of chorus and those kind of effects. Here's the inner sleeve. I actually managed to get this on vinyl. You can still get these. They're not that expensive, so which probably speaks for how little this band gets revered amongst metalheads. But overall, I think a really cool album. And it deserves more credit than it's getting, definitely. Quiet Riot went on to, I think after Quiet Riot 3, they brought out Quiet Riot with a different lineup, and Kevin Dubrow was no longer part of the fold, so they got in Paul Shortino on vocals. First, I hated the album, and but Quiet Riot, that album grew on me, definitely had some really cool tracks on it, and what followed later for me is still a haze. There are a couple of albums, Guilty Pleasures, Terrified I thought had one or two good songs, but I couldn't list them or list any tracks off them right now, so not really. And then the later albums, Road Rage and what they did recently with various singers, I've lost the plot completely, unfortunately. Remains to be seen what Rudy Sarzo and the gang will be up to next. Rudy being, I guess, the only original member left. Jizzy Pearl on vocals. And I think it's Johnny from Typo Negative on drums. So remains to be seen what we will be getting from this new lineup, because Rudy really dedicated himself to the band again after it was sort of Frankie Benelli's dying wish for him to continue with the band. So that's honorable. So I'll definitely be keeping my eyes open, and I'm hoping for another kick-ass Quiet Riot album with Jizzy Pearl. With Jizzy Pearl on vocals. I don't think you can do that much wrong. So because I really enjoyed all the Love Hate albums, they were great. So that's my 2 cents on Quiet Riot for today. I'll see you later.